Hi, welcome back to Alrighty English. I'm Augustine. In this video, I'll be talking about 10 words that you might be mispronouncing. Let's get to it. The first word is actually a city, a very famous city in the US, Chicago. Now, some students might be tempted to say Chicago because they see a CH at the beginning. And usually when a word has CH, it will be pronounced with a K sound or a Ch sound. But here we're kind of going away from the pattern and we're going to pronounce it with an SH sound, the sh sound, not the ch sound. So it should be Chicago. 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 Then we have Charlotte. And Charlotte is a name. And it's also a city. And here we have a similar situation, right? We have the CH at the beginning of this word, but we don't pronounce it with that sound. We actually pronounce it with an SH sound. So it should be Charlotte. Next, we have clothes. Clothes. A lot of students are tempted to say clothes or clothes. I know it looks like that, but we don't pronounce it that way. We just pronounce it clothes. Or you can say clothes. We do have an option here. The first one is a bit more difficult if English isn't your first language. So you would have to use the TH sound, but the voice one. It will sound something like this. Clothes. I bought some new clothes. Right, so that's kind of difficult to say if you're speaking in a natural conversation. So what a lot of native speakers do, instead of saying clothes, we just say close, as in close the door, which is the opposite of open. So I suggest that you practice both of them and use the one that you feel most comfortable with. What you want to keep in mind is that clothes and clothes are both perfectly acceptable. Just be careful if you are going to use clothes. Make sure that at the end you're pronouncing the Z sound, not the S sound. So it's not close, it's close. That's actually the way I say it. I bought some new clothes. Next up, we have education. Education. Here, the mistake the students make is that they see the D and they decide to pronounce it education. But again, here we're going to not do that. We're actually going to pronounce the D as a J, right? So we're going to say education, right? Education. And this is actually very common when you have a vowel, then you have the D sound, and then you have another vowel. Oftentimes it's going to be pronounced with a J. So we have education, educate, educational. The next word is graduation. And here we're going to follow the same pattern that we did with education, right? So it's not graduation, it's graduation. And also be careful with the end of the word. Sometimes some students might be tempted to say she-un, right? They might say graduation, but it's actually graduation. Shun. The Tion here is being pronounced as shun. So we have graduation. The next word, it's kind of tricky. It's genre. Right? We're talking about a type of movie or music that you are into. You do have two choices, but by far the most common and the most accepted version of this word is with the ZH. Even though it's a G, we're going to pronounce it as genre, instead of genre. However, sometimes you will hear some native speakers saying genre. However, I suggest that you stick with the most common version, genre. Okay, the next one happens to some of my students and even to some native speakers, depending on what part of the US you're from. And the word is says. And here the problem is that we have the word say, right? S-A-Y. And when we have the word say, we pronounce it say. But when we add an S to it, it changes. We don't say says, we say says. So this one you just have to practice. And again, this is standard American pronunciation. So try not to say says, but says. He says many things. Next, we have situation. And here, we're going to change the T into a ch sound. So sometimes I hear people saying situation. It's not situation, it's situ, right? Situation. And again, we have that Tion ending, which will be pronounced as shun. So again, we have situation, situation. The next one is southern, southern. Sometimes some students will say southern, and I perfectly understand why, right? It's S-O-U, so it should be pronounced sow. But again, English, it's a bit different than other languages. So oftentimes you're not going to pronounce the word the way it is spelled. So here we don't say southern, we say southern, right? Southern, southern. Be careful with the TH sound. Here it's again TH, but we have to use the voice one, as in this or that or these. Southern. I'm from Southern California. Alrighty, the last word is version. Version. And here some students might say version, but version is not correct. We say version. And again, we're going to use that ZH sound that we use with genre. So it's version. Version. Make sure you don't pronounce it with a G sound, or what will be more of a J sound. Make sure you don't say virgin. Okay, virgin is talking about sex, right? You're a virgin, but that's with a J sound. Here we're talking about type. Okay, have you gotten the newest version of the game or of the phone, right? Do you have the updated version? Alrighty, I hope that this video has been useful. Please go ahead, leave a comment, drop a like if you like the video, and let me know if you want me to make more videos regarding correct pronunciation of words. Okay, see you then. Bye bye.